Hey, Carlos here. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget, if you want to see the whole Clash Quest League video and also other Clash videos, then check out my new channel, Carlos85 Clash. The link is in the description. Leave a sub and have fun with the video. What's up, everyone? Another Clash mini special video. Today we have a special guest on board, full frontage, also Twitch streamer, YouTuber. Check out his channels, link are below in the description. Today we are talking about all the 20 minutes you can get in the first season of Clash Mini. We could both already take hand on the game a little bit earlier, so we know how the mini works, and we can tell you a little bit why we think some are maybe good, bad, very good, OP. Who knows? We will both tell you our own opinions. We will see two different tier lists, and let's see if we have some similarities or if we have totally different opinions. And yeah, I would say let's go in. Hey, Full Frontage, what's up? How are you doing? Nice to have you here.
Hey, good. Glad to be here. I'm super excited for this. Clash Mini has been a game I've been waiting for, as many of us have been. So I'm really excited to dive into this.
Yeah, absolutely same here. And yeah, I'm really happy to have you here. And I would say we could directly start. As you see, we have here both our tier lists. We have all the minis. We can rate them from OP to bad or even no ranking. I think we can rank them all. We are starting with the Archer. You're the guest. If you want to, you can start. How would you want, how do you rate the Archer?
I feel like I'm going to throw the Archer into good. I'm gonna put
Okay.
the Archer into the good tier. It's gonna kind of vary like different stages throughout the game. Like I feel like at the beginning the Archer will be kind of in that very good tier, but I feel like overall she'll probably kind of go into that good tier.
I see the first similarity. I also see the Archer's a good one. You know what you get. You get an Archer, you get arrows, and that's pretty much it. And it's a very basic mini, and I also put it in good. Next one would be the Barbarian. Actually, I need to say I'm a big fan of range units in general. No matter which game I play, always range over melee. But also here the Barbarian is a good one for me, a good mini. And actually, because of his attacks, he has this crazy attack that if he's attacking and as long as he doesn't die, he's getting faster and faster. Has a lot damage output. Also, he takes a lot damage. I put him in good and even in front the Archer. So Barbarian before Archer for me. I totally forgot to put the Archer for you here in good. So here we go.
I think I'm gonna actually go with the Barbarian in the average spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the Barbarian to the average spot. I think there are other melee units that are a little bit more efficient than him. Obviously, it's going to depend on the deck and the hero that you're using. The Barbarian can synergize with different minis and different heroes a lot better. But I think overall, I would put the Barbarian to the average because I see the Barbarian not being used as much later game than I do at the very early stages, whereas Archer's kind of she has a little bit of a longer lifespan in terms of the depth that she can go in the game, but I think the Barbarian's going to stay at that basic level. All right, so for the battle healer, I'm going to put the battle healer in the good spot behind the Archer. So I think the battle healer she's going to be a 4 elixir mini. So she's going to be very dependent on survival and how quickly she's able to get her super. If she's not able to get her super very quickly, she's not going to be as effective. But I think her healing ability is really strong. So the fact that she can heal that much and that many people at once with the bigger radius as you level her up via the stars, I think that kind of puts her in that good tier, but probably towards the lower end of the good tier.
I have the healing range actually also, the battle healer, always mix them up. The battle healer actually also in good. I didn't play it very often. The battle healer is extremely OP at 3 stars because then she can't die and also your teammates almost can't die because the healing comes so often +10, +10, +10. But in the lower ranges, like 1, 2, 3 star, depends on what abilities used. I see it lower in average. So like in average, I see it also good, but I put it actually between the Barb and the Archer. So still in front of the Archer because it's kind of unique to have a healer. And yeah, I feel it's a little bit over the Archer, but still in the good tier range. And yeah, next up is a very, very special mini. Actually, one of my favorites. I was totally surprised when I played him the first time. He will be actually also in he will be in my favorite deck. As soon as I get him, he will be 100% in my deck. No matter what other minis I have, the bowler will be in my deck. He's absolutely insane. He throws his big stone in front. He stuns. His super ability is so awesome when he can stun during the battle. In the banquet hall, when you mirror him, they kill the whole field. So I would say if someone has a 3-star bowler, it's really, really hard to beat it. Not OP, but definitely very good. And that will be also pretty much the best and a very good at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put I'm gonna go the tier above. I'm gonna have to put the bowler in OP.
Perfect.
I think like you said, the ability to stun when it's at 3 stars, you get that extra stun duration, the
Yeah.
ability to get the super off multiple times. It's not just a clash at the start. So I'm gonna throw that bowler into the OP tier just because of the duration of the stun and the damage that the bowler can do at level 3. So we'll see how it goes. I expect to see bowler probably in the first round of balance changes.
Yeah, I hope not, but yeah, I totally see that. Because it's so yeah, you might be right. So I will not change my mind now, but OP also fits the bowler absolutely. What do you think about the Dark Goblin, which is next?
So I think I want to put the Dark Goblin in the good tier, and it's going to probably stay at the end of the good tier for me. So the Barbarian and the Dark Goblin both have their 1-star ability where the rage effect will stack infinitely. And I'm putting the Dark Goblin above the Barbarian simply because it's a ranged unit. It shares similar characteristics in that regard, but the fact that it is ranged makes a huge difference. But I don't think it's anything higher than that because of its low HP, and you're able to take it down very quickly if you can clear out the front line or you have ranged units that you can line up properly. So I don't think it's insane, but I think it's like right above that average.
So I see it also over the Barbarian, and as you see, my Barbarian is good. But as I said before, I love range units, and maybe it is also because the Dark Goblin was my most favorite unit in Clash Royale. I also played a bit Clash Royale the last couple of years. I had him always in my deck. What I love about him in Clash Mini is, like you said, his infinite speed stack. So he's really crazy when he has the time, when he lives that long. Plus the stun. But as you said, he can die quite fast. But yeah, if you have, for example, the bowler in your deck, you have maybe like a little tank, even if the bowler is not meant as a tank. I will definitely put the Dark Goblin in the very good tier. Might be at the end also more in the middle, but for me, definitely very good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, next up is the E-Wizard. Here we go with the first OP mini for me. E-Wizard is insane with his sap. When he hits 4 enemies at the same time, it looks like that the whole field is getting sapped. Yeah, just loving, like, I think actually that the E-Wizard will get the first nerf right before the bowler. He's just, if you can bring him to 3-star, but he has 4 elixir, so that might also cost a couple rounds. But you can actually lose the first 2 rounds. If you then have a 3-star E-Wizard, you might win. You might win that. So definitely here, OP. What do you think about it?
Yep, I'm gonna have to go OP as well, and I'm gonna put it in front of the bowler too, because like you said, the zap with the 4, even the dissipate ability at level 2 to take energy away. Not only are you stunning the enemies, you're also ruining their energy charge to get their super off. So Ewiz is very powerful at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how I would nerf him just yet. I suppose maybe reduce the amount of enemies you zap to 3, and then maybe turn the stun duration down a little bit. But outside of like that initial reaction, it's going to be completely different in a live build as well. Like obviously we've played the game, we're practicing, like we're playing against basically NPCs or bots that are
True.
programmed to play. So it could be different once we're in the live build and playing against people who are just as good as we are, not necessarily just robots. But yeah, for now,
Yeah,
I'm going to
absolutely.
throw that Ewiz into the OP.
There we share the same mind. And next up is also a very interesting one. The giant skeleton with the big boom. I put him, actually, I just need to check my pre-med list also. I put him in the good tier list. But actually,
Okay.
I want a spoiler. That will be the best good mini. That is actually a mini you want to die fast. So always when I played him, I put him in the front of my deck. I wanted that he dies fast for the big boom. In best case, the very big boom with the ability that you
Hmm.
almost, explode the whole field. Massive damage. The damage on the field is not that big, but actually the bomb damage is massive, and that's why it is for me a good
Yep.
mini. And yeah, in front of Barbarian, Battle Healer, Archer, and everyone else who will follow there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the tier above and go with the giant
Okay,
skeleton in the very good.
very good.
Like you said, that's a mini you want to die quickly.
Mm,
The larger radius is so huge at that 2-star ability to be able to affect a majority of the board. Like if you get that giant skeleton up front, it is going to be a killer to get through. And if you can position it correctly and have all the enemy minis focus onto that giant skeleton at the start, it's going to make an easy cleanup, especially if you have ranged units like the E-Wiz, the Dark
mm.
Goblin, the Archer, the Healing Ranger, Magic Archer, whatever you get into in that back line that you have. You want that giant skeleton up front. So I think it is going to be a very good mini, and especially with that 2-star where it's able to have that larger explosion radius.
Yeah, absolutely. Skeleton Guard. What do you
All right.
think about that one?
Skeleton Guard, I'm going to put in the good right behind the Archer and above the Battle Healer. The
Okay.
Skeleton Guard, his 3-star ability, it takes a while to get there, but his 3-star ability is you cast Shield up right when the battle starts,
Mm,
so it becomes a clash ability. So pairing that with a 1-star, which adds an extra 6 to the shield, so you have 12 shield up. And then when you get the clash ability for shield up, you have 12 extra hit points on that skeleton guard for
mm,
6 elixir total, because you're getting that +6, which is an extra 2 elixir because it's 2 elixir mini. And then you have the cast shield up right at the start. So getting an extra 12 HP for 6 elixir is really solid. And then not only that, when you get the super again, he casts another 12. So if you're able to get that cycle in where where the skeleton guard can just kind of stack shields, he's going to survive for a really long time for a 2 elixir mini.
I can totally agree there. I was extremely surprised when I saw that little guy, and I mean, the minis are all little, but he's very, very small. And that he kind of survives the whole battle as the only one if you have the right setup.
Yep.
I put him also in good, more at the end of good, but that's maybe just because of my personal preference, melee versus range.
Hmm.
And also, I don't often use tanks, but if I need a tank in my deck, then this would be my main tank. Absolutely, because yeah, there's nothing to add what he said. He does what he needs to do. He tanks every damage away, casts his shield up, and that's what he needs to
Hmm.
do. And the opposite is the Healing Ranger, which is next. And the
Yeah.
Healing Ranger is actually, in my opinion, a very nice unit to play. A good range is over melee. We know that already.
Yeah.
Heals. The healers are quite good. Also, damage output is not that bad at all. The range is, I think he can actually heal over the whole field. So as long as
Yep.
he stays alive, you have a good supporter. Definitely one of the best supporter units in the game. Way, way better, in my opinion, than the battle healer. And I put him into, or I put her actually in the super tier, right behind the Dart Goblin. Because, yeah, I like damage more than healing.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Healing Ranger. The 1-star ability lets you heal a lot more. The second allows you to heal
Mhm.
a wider range. So the fact that you can get that, she is a 3 elixir mini. So I'm going to put her at the front of the good tier.
Okay.
Um, I still think she's easily counterable. I don't
Mhm.
think the healers are actually too OP. If you're able to get the right setup and take them down. Of course, if you don't have the right setup, anything is going to seem OP, but
Mhm.
especially healers. But yeah, I don't think the Healing Ranger is going to be in that very good tier. I think she's just slightly below it,
Mhm.
just simply because there's a lot of ways to kind of negate the healing, especially when you have dissipate units as well.
Yeah, especially like the wizard, a lot of people might play, which we talk about at the end. He's like the
Yep.
best counter for any healers. Yeah, cool. Next up is the
Uh,
ice wizard. Or do you have anything to add?
The Ice Wizard.
Yeah,
No, I was gonna go jump right to the Ice Wizard. So
yeah.
I'm gonna put the Ice Wizard at the top of the average. I
Top
don't
of
think
the
that the
average.
Ice
Okay.
Wizard, yeah, I don't think the Ice Wizard is really that good. The best feature about him is the fact that he's able to slow enemy minis. He
Mm,
can get some when you level him up, he slows enemies in a bigger radius, so it's not just a single target slow anymore. It's a larger radius of the slow. But I don't think he's going to be too impactful. He might be good early on, but as you get later into the game, I really don't think he's going to be that popular. Um,
Mm.
Maybe it's just a personal preference, but I think I would rather see more damage and more healing than the ability and stuns than the ability to slow.
I actually see my pre-made list where I already went through them all. I put them in very good at the end of very good, but I think I need also to change my idea a little bit. I see him also, like you said, he's just slowing down. He's not doing a lot of damage. I would put him in the good tier, somewhere in the
Okay.
middle. Actually, I will go down from very good to actually probably even at the end of good. My unit I would use because I am someone who plays very aggressive and mostly
Mhm.
all in damage, no tanks, no healers, no support. I often get hit in my face with that strat, especially in Clash Royale. Let's see how it works in Clash Mini.
Yep.
Yeah, next up is the Knight, which is for me definitely value-wise, in my opinion, the worst mini at the moment. I put him in average. So
Okay.
spoiler, there will be no bad mini because I really think that all the minis are in total quite good balanced. But I didn't feel to play the Knight. He's very slow. I didn't feel he takes that much damage compared to the Skeleton Guard. Maybe I played him wrong, I don't know. But for me, he's just average. It was not very interesting to play with him. I didn't
Mhm.
feel it, so that's why I put him in average.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I'm gonna put him in average right behind the Ice Wizard.
Mm,
I think his chivalry ability, where he's able to pop that shield and reduce damage,
mm.
is sort of helpful, but it's nothing spectacular. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna change the momentum of a battle, um, unless it's absolutely perfectly timed. But it's a very it's kind of one of those things where it's not really gonna happen too often. So I think he does fit really well into that average tier.
Lumberjack is next. Your turn.
Lumberjack. I think I'm gonna throw the Lumberjack um, right in front of the Archer in the good tier, but behind the
Okay.
Healing Ranger. So the Lumberjack, his ability is once he gets a super, he throws a potion that rages everybody up. He does have an upgrade. I'm blanking on which star it is, but the super becomes a clash ability, and then he also has another upgrade where the radius of the rage potion increases. So I put him in that good tier where because he's going to be really a support unit more than a tank. You kind of want him to stay alive a little bit longer, because he gets more potions off and rages up your enemy and rages up
Mm.
your friendly minis more. So I'm going to put him at the top of that good tier because I don't think he's very good. He's not like a priority to have in a deck, but I think you can formulate a deck around him and he can be very impactful for the battle.
So I will put him actually in the very good tier, directly behind the Bowler. As you said, like the Clash ability is, in my opinion, the best. So he directly throws his Rage Bottle and everyone gets buffed. So for me, he's the
Mhm.
best supporty unit. Plus, he also deals a lot of damage, combined with another mini we have not talked about yet. In my opinion, very insane if you can manage that everyone gets buffed right off the start. So in best case, in the first round maybe. So I see him definitely as very good and best supporter from all the minis we have at the moment. Yeah, next up is the Magic Archer. That's a very interesting unit. He deals a lot damage. His Pierce ability is insane. When you have him somewhere in the corner,
Mhm.
in the back, and he can shoot his arrows through the whole field, he deals a massive damage. For me, one of in total 3 OP units. Absolutely
Okay.
amazing. I might not use him in my possible main deck, but he's definitely an option for maybe a second deck to use. I absolutely love him. Also, absolutely
Mhm.
OP in my opinion. Will maybe also get a nerf.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I'm gonna put him in the OP behind the Bowler and the Ewiz. I
Mm,
still think those two are much better. But like you said, if you can line up the Magic Archer, you're able to get a ton of value. Like you said, the piercing is going to be so
mm,
clutch, and he also has Dissipate at the two
yeah.
star Magic Archer. So when you're able to get that Dissipate and you're able to hit multiple units with that Pierce, it becomes very deadly. So he's not in that very good tier because he still is fairly easy to kill.
Mm.
Um, but just the support that he can provide, especially at the start of matches, is really strong, and I think it just puts him into that OP tier.
Yeah, and then next up is the miner. What about him? What do you think?
So I'm between the miner, but I'm going to put him at the top of the very good. I don't think the miner is OP, but I do think he's very, very close to being OP. The backstab ability is really clutch. That's his 1-star ability. He funnels all the way to the back. You can even put him, I think what makes him that very good, slightly below OP, is even if you put the miner at the very front of the board, he travels less. He has to travel less distance to go to the back, and he pops up much quicker, meaning he's going to get a lot more damage onto the enemy ranged units quicker. You don't have to put the miner all the way at the back of your side. You can put him right at the front, and he'll still go underground because of the clash ability burrow. So I think the miner is really good. His 3-star is also cleave, which he swipes and hits all 3 tiles in front of him. So if there are multiple ranged units, like if your opponent has like an archer queen hero, then miner with cleave is going to be very deadly, especially early on, because most of those range units will be kind of lined up in the back, and you can get a lot of damage with that cleave.
Yeah, what should I say? Actually, you completely stole my words. So you should not tell the people our strats, because then they're gonna beat us. But actually, I also put him into the very good. He will be also the best, very good, really slightly up to OP. He's kind of perfect balanced. Yeah, as you say, so combined with the Lumberjack, that's why I have the Lumberjack in very good. If you have the miner, maybe with the backstab, or even the AE damage ability, the Lumberjack with the clash ability together. So the buff from the Lumberjack hits, and then he burrows with the tunnel at the top of the board. Goes for Archer Queen, for example, or Archer, Spear Goblin, whatever. If you have a Spear Goblin in front, he goes through the spear. I love him. He's so cool to play. He will also definitely be in my deck. You described him the best. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we have the mini Pekka. Mini Pekka is, for me, a very good one. As melee unit, of course, behind the range units. But actually also behind the healing ranger. He deals a lot of damage. The double damage ability is quite nice, useful. He doesn't cost that much elixir like the big Pekka later coming. Yeah, absolutely fits in any melee deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the mini Pekka in the good behind the Lumberjack. Like you said, he's not. He just fits well. He's good for, or she. I don't. The Pekka's a she, but I'm not too sure about the mini Pekka. But the mini
I thought about it, but no.
Yeah, I was like, they are really good, and they just fit well into pretty much any deck that you can think of. It's a 3 elixir mini. So yeah, I think the Shining Blade, the ability to do double damage at random points, is really nice. Get that critical shot in, but I don't think it's anything like too OP or higher up. I think it's just kind of like an average. I don't know if for me personally, I'd rather have like either the Skeleton Guard, depending on the deck, for that extra health, or the Lumberjack for that support. So that's kind of why I'm putting the mini Pekka kind of in the middle of that good tier.
What about the Mega Knight?
I'm gonna put the Mega Knight in at the end of the good, so right behind the Dark Goblin. I don't think the Mega Knight is like an average mini. I think it's still a pretty good mini. The Skyfall, where it knocks enemies up, it has I think it's a 2-star ability where it stuns them for an additional period of time. So I think the Mega Knight is good, but for 4 elixir, I don't really know how much value you're going to get out of it, especially with the balance of the Magic Archer and the Electro Wizard. If you already have one of those minis in your deck, you don't really need another 4 elixir mini. It seems a little bit excessive to have multiple 4 elixir. So I'm going to put the Mega Knight at the end of the good tier, just because out of the 4 elixir minis, I don't think it's that impactful for decks. But if you want to play the Mega Knight, it's still a good mini to have.
Absolutely. So yeah, I do agree. I think it doesn't make sense to have more than one 4 elixir mini. That would be just way too expensive. You don't get that much elixir, or you're gonna lose the first 2 rounds, and then you hope to win the other 3 rounds. I put Mega Knight actually behind the Lumberjack in the very good tier, because I actually loved when he's doing his Skyfall. How is it called? He's stunning. If you have the ability with the bigger range, he's almost stunning the whole field. So like I think 60-70%. It's a 5x5 field. He deals a lot of damage. He takes a lot of damage, so you could also see him as a tank, even if he's not supposed to be a tank. That brings him for me into the very good tier because he's, yeah, like he's very good in everything. Deals damage, stuns, takes a lot of damage. So I was totally surprised about him. And the next up is the Pekka. That's your turn.
Yeah, so the Pekka, I think I want to put the Pekka in the good tier as well, behind the Mega Knight. So the Pekka is gonna
Okay.
kind of be at the end there. It's I haven't really seen. I haven't played too much of the Pekka, but for me, I don't really see the value. Like she has a lot of damage, she has a lot of health, um, but again, with the balance of the 4 elixir, with the Ewiz and the Magic Archer, I don't see the Pekka being very valuable, and I would prefer the control of the Mega Knight over the Pekka, which is why I have the Pekka behind the Mega Knight. But yeah, for a 4 elixir mini, I think she's still really good if you need to have a tank. I don't think she falls into that average spot just because of how tanky and how much damage she can do. But I think she's at the very end of the good tier and would not be a priority for a 4 elixir mini for me.
Yeah, I agree. Would also not be my favorite. I put the Pekka in the very good tier behind the mini Pekka. I actually played also not that much with Pekka, but when I played her, I had the Lumberjack. I had the ability that she deals 3 times damage, and if the first hit against, for example, the shield main or any other hero is a crit, then they're almost down. So that was fascinating. Went whole kind of slow. Melee, which is not my personal favorite. Yeah, it's too expensive. Like 4-star. I will only have probably the E-Wizard as 4-star in my decks from all the 4-stars we have at the moment. But still very good because if you like melee, and I thought about, okay, if people like melee, there's maybe the only 4-star Elixir mini. It deals a lot of damage. Also like the Mega Knight, takes a lot of damage. But still by far, Mega Knight or Pekka, I would definitely go with the Mega Knight then. And next up was Spear Goblin. That's a very interesting one. I would say it all depends on the first attack. If the first attack hits, he's very good. If the first attack does not hit, he's average. So I put the Spear Goblin actually in good, in front of the Barbarian. So like when his Spear Toss hits, then he can smash every non-star mini almost one hit out. This is crazy. But often you don't have someone in the same line, or you have a miner, they're going through, or you have a bowler can counter it. So it's like a 50-50 chance. What is really interesting, Spear Goblin behind the bowler. If there is someone in that lane, or even 2, maybe also in the banquet hall when you have the mirror or so, then it can be incredible crazy, but it can also like nothing because the damage in the battle after the spear toss is okay, but it's not that high. But because of the fact he can hit a lot of damage, I put him at the good tier and right in front of it.
I'm gonna put the Spear Goblin in the very good tier.
Okay.
At the end there. Kind of like you said, if the spear hits,
No,
it's deadly. It one shots most minis.
Yeah.
Or deals like half damage to tanky minis or heroes. So even if you're able to connect, if you connect with any mini, it's either going to take them out or take them very low in health. The only downfall is you don't really want it to connect with the giant skeleton, but any other mini is fair game. If it connects with anything else,
absolutely.
you're in a good spot. But yeah, and then it has the first star is it increases the damage of the spear right at the start, and then it has a boast ability as well. So for me, I think the Spear Goblin is like at the end of the very good tier, just because its clash ability is so game changing. Like if it connects, that turns the tide of a potential losing match.
Then we have 2 more. The Valkyrie.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Valkyrie at the front of the average. I don't think Valkyrie is that impactful. She has the ability where her attack speed increases at the 1-star, and her boast ability is that she heals health back. But in order to do that, she actually has to get the final hit onto another mini, which if she doesn't, it makes it pretty difficult. Like if you're going for that front line, so she doesn't really have like a game changing ability because you basically need to have the 1 star and the 2 star. The 1 star is
Mm.
where her attack speed increases, and then 2 star is the boast where she can heal. If she doesn't have the attack speed, it's really hard for her to get that last shot in, so it doesn't really make sense. So you're basically spending 9 elixir for a kind of good tank. So when she
Yeah.
has those 2 stars, she's a good unit. But outside of that, I think she's just kind of average.
Yeah, I agree. She's kind of hard to play. I also didn't play her that much. I put her 1 tier higher, actually, in the good between the archer and the battle healer. I had a couple good
Okay.
matches with her. So when I used her, I always could bring her to 2 star, had the heal, I had the increased speed, and then she's dealing quite a lot of damage. But yeah, as like 0 star, she's not really helpful. The thing is, it always depends on your whole setup, on the battles you have, maybe the
Hmm.
experience. And so I would say she's quite good for a melee deck. Absolutely nice to play. All right,
Yep.
then we have one more minute to go. The Wizard.
Yes.
Wizard are in general one of my big favorite units, not just because she has the same beard as me at the moment. And the Wizard is, in my opinion, also one of the OP minis. Balanced,
Ooh.
but OP. Fireball, nothing to say. First star, I think, is the bigger range. Second is then the damage over time, which is really nice.
Hmm.
And the most OP ability is 3 star. Actually, when you have a battle healer or a healing ranger in the battle from your opponent, then you can take their heal away. This is really cool. That makes it absolutely OP. For me, damage output is insane. He's easy to play. He just costs 2 elixir, which you also need to count in. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, that's a wizard. I mean, if the wizard is not OP, what else? So yeah, that is my setup. And he will be also in my deck, of course. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think Wizard is one of the first minis that you get in the game. But
No.
I'm gonna put the Wizard into the very good tier,
Hmm.
above that Spear Goblin behind the Giant Skeleton. Because, like you said,
Okay.
the ability, the 2 star where he can cancel the heal,
No.
is really strong. The damage over time, it does 4 damage for 2 seconds, so
No.
2 additional damage each second. And then that 1 star ability is that increased range. And like you
Mm.
said, he's a 2 cost unit. So to Maximo completely is only 8 elixir. So he's definitely one of the better minis to have and in your
Mm.
deck. Especially because, like you said, if your opponent has healing, then you want to have the wizard there. And he doesn't cost very much to max out. You just cost 8 elixir. And it really just kind of depends on the setup. You get 30 elixir every match if you go all 5 games.
Mm.
So 6 elixir per round. If you're really lucky with your rolls, you can have a level 3 wizard in the second round. And
No.
that is just completely dominant. And if you win that first round, you're pretty much set for the rest of the game at that point. So yeah, I think the
Mm.
wizard is in that very good tier, and definitely towards the top of the tier list.
Yeah, that's it. It's really interesting for me to see. We have a lot minis quite similar. I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, is it OP or very good or very good? Sometimes it's
Hmm.
kind of the same. I think we have a lot minis with the same opinion. Some are definitely different. But what I also see on both
Hmm.
sides, that was what I felt when I played the game. There's actually no really bad mini, so we didn't bring anyone in bad. I just
Yeah.
don't like the knight at all because of his gameplay. It is a very balanced game. That was what really surprised me, and I'm really excited for more to play to get more minis in the future. What do you think about like the whole mini setup?
Yeah, when I was playing the game, I was honestly shocked how balanced it was. Like for
Yeah.
a beta, I've never participated in a beta where anything was like really
Mm.
that balanced. But I was very, very shocked when I was like, wow, this is actually a very balanced. Like, obviously, there's some
Yeah.
OP units, like we both put Magic Archer and Electro Wizard in that OP slot. Um, and then, like, looking at your tier list compared to my tier list, it was like you have so many units in the very good, and I have less units in the very good range. But that's
Yeah.
also dependent on your play style, too, and like how you can kind of interpret things. So it really comes, that's when you know a game is balanced, where you can say, where one person can say, oh, this is a very good unit, and then another person can say, well, for me it's not, it's just an okay unit, like
Yeah.
it's not average but it's good. um and I think that's what surprised me the most about Clash Mini was how balanced it actually really is.
Mm,
for a beta product. Um, Obviously, there will be some balance changes. They'll probably tweak some things.
of course,
They've
yeah.
already teased on Discord that there's like going to be like throughout seasons, abilities might shift for different minis. So to
Hmm.
balance a mini, like for example, season one, Wizard has the heal where he cancels out heal. Maybe in
Yeah.
season two, he has dissipate instead of canceling out the heal. So there's like different
Mm.
things that they can play around with to kind of fluctuate the minis and move them to different tiers. But overall, I would say this game is one of the most balanced games I've played at a beta launch.
I would actually say one of the most balanced games I played. I'm surprised it's like just a beta, like you said. So I was kind of shocked. Yeah, so absolutely. So I'm really, really excited. To finish the video, I would say there's one more thing people want maybe to know. Which minis and actually which deck are we probably using the most? Let's say we have all the minis, everything 3-star, everything maxed out, which is probably our both goal. What would be your deck you are going into the battles?
So I would probably say that the that I've been playing the most leading up. The hero that I've been using a lot, it's going to fluctuate. I'm tied between two heroes,
Okay.
the monk and the shield maiden, and both are very different play styles. But I've been playing more of the monk, so I'm going to lean toward the monk for this
Hmm.
part. And then for the minis that I have the Electro Wizard, the Giant Skeleton, the Bowler, the Miner, and the Barbarian. And I have the Barbarian in there because when you have the Giant Skeleton up front and you also have the Bowler as well, I do like the combo with the Barbarian, especially with the Monk. Having that, I mainly just get the Barbarian to 1-star and then I just leave him there because he just
Okay.
rage stacks it infinitely.
Yeah.
And when you have the Giant Skeleton controlling, you have the Bowler stunning, you have the Electro Wizard stunning multiple units. The Barbarian rage stack can get quite a bit of damage. And then the Monk's ability to kind of with the Force hand, forgetting on the official name of it right now, but
So good.
it
I can't
basically
also remember all that.
yeah, it does a lot of damage,
Yeah.
even when you don't have that hero maxed out. So, and then of course the miner is in there for the back line because it's very important to take down the units in the back line, and you have that giant skeleton up front tanking the damage. You have the monk taking the damage, and yeah, so that's the deck that I've been rocking, and that's probably the deck I'm going to stay with unless someone destroys me and proves me wrong. But but after playing it, I think that's one of my favorite decks right now.
That sounds really interesting. I like the part when you say shield main, but then you switch up to a monk. I want to also tell you my deck. I actually played probably 98% of all my games with the shield maiden. I fell in love with her. She takes so much damage. She reflects the damage with her shield. It is so amazing. Like, it happened so often that the minis just killed themselves because the shield was up. So shield maiden will be my hero. You will probably see the most in my videos and streams. And the deck is also pretty much set. I have also the E-Wizard, of course, because of the stun and the attacking 4 minis at the same time. The Wizard is, of course, within. The Miner as well. Yeah, also backstab. He's going behind. He's going for the range units. Of course, the Bowler. And I hope that I always play in a banquet hall, then I can mirror him. And yeah, the 5th mini will be, I have actually 2. I might swap between. Either it is the Lumberjack, just to buff all the units and fight a stun in 5 seconds, or the Dart Goblin. I'm not sure yet. I like both variants. I need to play different with both. So the one is the buff, and the other one would be the range damage from behind together with the Bowler. Also quite insane because the Bowler also takes a lot of damage, and if I put the Dart Goblin behind, he should also live quite long, and he can stack up his speed. So yeah, that will be my deck, but I will definitely also try everything out what is possible. And yeah, as you said, when we get a new season, some minis might get a new ability, and that will also change and probably our complete game style. So this is really cool. I'm really, really excited about that.
It's exciting. I'm happy the game is finally here.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, but yeah, I'm very excited. look for me on the top of leaderboards. So
Yeah, I hope you can take second place. Yeah, no, let's see. I'm really, so I try to do as much as possible as family gives me the time. I really appreciate you have been here today. For all of you who see that, I guess also Full Frontage is uploading a video about that.
Yeah.
Check out his channel, leave a like, leave a sub. Check his Twitch. He's also live streaming clashmini. So if you want to see probably global top 2 players gameplay, check also his stream. And no, it was really cool. Really nice to meet you. First time today. Yeah, I hope there's more to come.
Yeah, and if you guys like the collaboration that you saw, let us know down in the comment section below if you want to see more. I'd love to have you back on the channel, Carlos. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down for it. Thanks for being here.
Awesome.
All right, that was the Clash mini tier list, all 20 minutes, rated from me, from Full Frontage. Once again, check out his channel, really nice guy. And yeah, if you want to see more Clash mini content, don't forget to leave a like, leave a sub on this channel, leave a sub also on my second channel, Carlos85 Clash. Link is down below in the description. And yeah, we see us then in the next video or in the live streams every day, 9 p.m. German time. And Carlos is out. Bye-bye.